which are important. The examples on source transformation and source shifting. These examples will definitely will cover at least some 6 to 8 marks of the module 1 in one question. So these are important for that particular unit also, and important for understanding the concepts also. Okay. Now is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. We'll take first one example. We'll look into it slowly. Then we'll move ahead with many other examples. Okay. So reduce the circuit shown. Reduce the circuit shown. You can take this as example 1. Reduce the circuit shown into a single voltage source or a single practical voltage source into a single practical voltage source. The circuit shown is single practical voltage source between A and B, between terminals A and B. Don't be scared by seeing the length of the circuit. It is simple. Okay, when we start solving it, you will get to know about that. This is 10 amperes. This is 5 ohms. This is 2 ohms. 10 volts. 6 ohms. 4 ohms. And 10 ohms. This is 6 amperes. So this is the circuit given. And I have to reduce this entire circuit connection into a single equivalent practical voltage source like this. Okay, so practical voltage source will be between A and B, this resistance and this voltage A, and B. It can be plus or minus, or it can be minus or plus. I don't know still what it comes at the end. Okay, so either plus can be up and minus can be down, or minus can be up, plus can be down. Okay, any of these two possibilities will be coming out. Okay, so I have to reduce this entire network into this equivalent source. Okay, so before starting that, we should be looking into each component and each source which are transferable, okay, or which I can transform into the other sources. And we should be always looking into the necessity. It is not that every current source has to be transferred to voltage source, and every voltage source has to be transferred to current source. Okay, sometimes it will not be necessary to transfer everything at once. So first we should be looking into the things, what we'll get after transformation, and whether the step what we get after transformation is reducing the simplification or increasing a step in the simplification. Okay, so that is one thing. In this particular circuit, there are some redundant components which I have to take out from the circuit. Okay, there are some redundant components which I have to take out from the circuit. Now we know that if I have a current source, when I say source, current source, okay, this is say a terminal of current source, let this be X, and direction of current is in this, say for example 10 amperes. Okay, I am taking for 10 amperes. Now I have one more terminal Y, and this terminals X and Y form a particular branch in a circuit. Now one thing you should remember, when I have a current source in any branch, whatever number of passive components I may get in series, any number of resistors, I can have 10 resistors, few inductors, some capacitors, whatever it is. I don't have the effect of these passive components in any way. Okay, these passive components will not affect the source value of this current source, which will remain 10 amperes always, because this is a ideal current source and it is expected to have 10 amperes of current as its value for infinite time. Okay, for infinite time the source value of this current source will be 10 amperes. So all the circuit components that they come in series with this 10 ampere source will become redundant when I want to simplify the circuit. It is not that I am neglecting this and taking out of the circuit. I am not doing that. When I want to reduce the circuit to its equivalent form, the effect of these passive components in series with the current source is nil. Okay? Hence, the presence of series resistances to a current source has got no effect, and I can simply time being ignore this or neglect this resistance in series with this source, or inductance or capacitance in series with this source, for simplification of the circuit, for transformation of the circuit. Okay, so one such case we have observed in this circuit, which is a 10 ohm resistor is coming in series with 6 amperes of current, and this 10 ohm has got no effect on this 6 amperes of current source. Whether 10 ohm is there or it is not there, 6 amperes of current will reach this node. Even if I take out this 10 ohm from the circuit, this node will receive 6 amperes from this source or this branch. So whether I keep this 10 ohm or don't keep this 10 ohm for my simplification, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this 10 ohm is redundant in this circuit for my simplification. For my simplification, okay, this is one case. Second case is that whenever I have a voltage source, a resistor coming in parallel to voltage source will become redundant. Why? Because the voltage value here is 10 volts because it is 10 volts. Here it is 0 volts. Negative indicates 0, positive indicates the source value. This is how the batteries have been read so far. Positive higher potential point means the source value, lower potential point means 0 volts. This we know already. Okay, so this is 10 volts and 0 volts. Okay, so anything I connect now in parallel to this 10 volts doesn't have any effect because there is no current flowing in this path. Okay, all the current will flow beyond this path only, if you see practically, because the potential difference here is 0. Okay, the potential difference here is 0. Okay, and even if this current flows here, it is not doing any kind of work. The same voltage is available after this. Hence, I can take this resistor as a redundant component and I can neglect this for time being for my simplification. Okay, so when you observe a 6 ohm resistor here in the circuit, it is coming exactly across this 10 volts. So here the voltage value is 10 volts. Okay, so this 6 ohm is not creating any voltage drop from this source. Okay, so therefore I can neglect this also. Okay, for my circuit reduction, I cannot say that this 6 ohms is of no use in my circuit operation. This circuit may be representing some system which is doing some work. Okay, but if I have to reduce the circuit, the first technique what we generally use is we remove the redundant terms. We remove the redundant terms. Okay, the terms or the elements which are not in use in doing work or which has no effect on the circuit parameters can be neglected for time being. So therefore, 6 ohm in parallel to 10 ohm, 10 volts is neglected. 10 ohms in series with 6 amperes is neglected. Okay, so here we can write generally a series resistance or generally a resistance in series with generally a resistance in series with current source has no effect on source value and can be neglected. Therefore, in the circuit given, we neglect 10 ohm resistor in series with 6 amperes source. Ten ohm resistor in series with 6 ampere source. This is one case. Second case, like I explained, a resistor in parallel with voltage source has no effect on the node voltage. You can observe a 6 ohm is in parallel with 10 volts and it has got no effect on this node voltage. Hence, it can also be neglected. Okay. A resistor in parallel with a voltage source has no effect on the node voltage value okay, because whether the 6 ohm is present here or it is absent here, this voltage will be 10 volts only. Okay, so has no effect on the node voltage value and hence can be neglected Okay. So here we neglect 6 ohm resistor across 10 volt source. Therefore, here we neglect 6 ohm resistor across 10 volt source. Okay. Now, after neglecting these two resistors, I will be redrawing the circuit. The circuit can be drawn as sorry, this resistor is not used. Times 2 ohm, 5 ohm and 10 amperes. Okay, so this is the circuit shown. Then that we get this new circuit after I neglect the redundant resistors present in the circuit. Now I have to apply the source transformation technique here. Now first I should observe what transformation will help me in getting the final result with minimum number of steps. Okay. Now the possibilities are I can convert 10 ampere 5 ohms into voltage source, 6 ampere 4 ohm into voltage source, or 10 volt 2 ohms into current source. Now observe, if I transfer or transform 10 ampere 5 ohm into voltage source, then I get two voltage sources in parallel, which I cannot directly reduce unless I again convert them to current source and then take the equivalent. So I have to, if I convert 10 ampere 5 ohm into voltage source, again I have to convert that into current source and convert 10 volt 2 ohms into current source, take parallel combination and then convert that into voltage source, because ultimately I want a voltage source. Okay. And here I can convert 6 ampere 4 ohm. And one more thing. Now, if I convert a 10 volt and 2 ohms into current source, then I will be having two current sources in parallel, which very easily I can simplify it, take the equivalent. Then I get two current sources in series. Okay. Then again I cannot have two current sources in series. For that I have to convert them into again parallel or voltage sources, then take the equivalent. So one thing is sure, when I want the final circuit to be a single voltage source, then there should be all the voltage sources between A and B, so that conveniently I can add all the potentials of sources and take the equivalent resistances. So my attempt should be in such a way that the upper circuit should be a voltage source, lower circuit should also be a voltage source. Don't blindly jump into converting the current source to voltage and voltage source to current without knowing what exactly we want. So in source transformation, one thing we should remember, that after conversion or after transformation, what sources we get in the next step. Whether those sources will add the complexity or reduce this complexity, we should be observing. Okay. So likewise, now if I convert this 10 ampere 5 ohm into voltage source, then it is of no use for me. Again, I have to convert that into current source, 10 volt 2 ohm into current source, then take the equivalent and get the voltage source. And here I can conveniently convert it into voltage source. So now what I will do, because I want a voltage source between A and B, okay, and between A and B there are two series circuits. This upper combination is in series with this lower combination. Okay. So when there are two series circuits, I can make these two both series circuits into voltage sources, and equivalently I can take very easily. So first what I will do, I will convert 6 ampere 4 ohms into a voltage source. I will keep it as it is till the last step. And I will convert 10 volt 2 ohm into a current source and take the equivalent of with other current source already existing. Then later I will convert it into voltage source. Okay. So what I will do is here, okay, convert uh, 6 ampere 4 ohm into voltage source and 10 volt 2 ohms into current source. Okay. So after doing that, now first I will write the circuit, then we'll see the values. Okay. So this 10 amperes is there, 5 ohms is there as it is. Now I have a current source in parallel with the resistor. Now no doubt this resistor is this 2 ohms. Okay. And the current, let me take it as I. You will see that what happens with that. Next, this lower current source 6 ampere 4 ohm is converted to voltage source. So a resistor in series with voltage source will get This is B. Resistor is 4 ohm. It won't change. Now, let me call it as V. Now, what is I is equals to? Yes? What is I is equals to? As per the rule of source transformation. It
I1
is,
plus I2.
yeah? Hello? Yes? I is equals to? I am talking about only this source now. Don't combine the entire circuit. Yes? Now, as per the voltage sources, we have seen here. If I have to, I am converting a voltage source into a current source. Okay? If I am converting a voltage source into a current source, yeah. If I am converting a voltage source into a current source here, what should I take? The source voltage divided by series resistor. Somewhere we have written here. Yeah, look into this part. Now here, E is the source value, Ri is the internal resistance of the source, is it? Now this is converted into a current source. This is converted into a current source. Now what is the value of current I? I is equal to E divided by Ri. The source voltage divided by series resistance. Is it? This we proved in the later stage, but this is how the transformation is done. So similarly, in this circuit shown, what will be I here? The source voltage divided by the series resistance, that is 10 volt divided by 2 ohm. Is it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This circuit remains same. 5 ohms and 10 amps circuit remains same. I did not touch it as of now. But only I am converting this 10 volt 2 ohm into a current source. So when I want to have a current source, the current source value is voltage of voltage source divided by resistance in series. So this will come out to be 5 amperes. So this current source is of 5 amperes. Now what is the direction? Now the direction of 10 volt is upward. See, the positive sign is upward. Therefore, the direction of current source will be upwards. In whichever direction the positive sign is there, in that direction the arrow mark comes. So a 5 ampere current source upward, okay, is the equivalent of 10 volt and 2 ohm voltage source. Okay. Similarly, what is the value of V? V is equals to simple current multiplied by resistance. Okay. So V is equals to we can observe from this current source, which is of I amperes and R ohms, I got a voltage source in of V volts and R in series. This R and this R are the same, and this voltage source V is equal to I into R, the product of current source value multiplied by the parallel resistance value. So there, in this circuit, what is V is equals to 6 amperes multiplied by 4 ohms. So this voltage V is equals to 24 volts. And direction or polarity of the source is along the direction of current arrow. The arrow mark of the current source is upward, therefore positive sign will come upward, negative sign will come downward. Okay. So this is the equivalent of this current source, and 5 ampere 2 ohms is equivalent of this voltage source. So now ultimately what I want between A and B is the single voltage source. Already I have one voltage source with me. I will not touch it. I will keep it as it is. And I have a parallel combination of these current sources. I will take effective value of this current source. Then I will convert it into the voltage source. Okay. So we'll write a note. From here to here. Take effective value of current sources (5 amp 2 ohms) and 10 amps 5 ohms. This is first step, and convert, or that conversion we'll look into later. Let us not worry about that now. First we'll do that. Okay. So now taking the effective value of current sources 5 amp 2 ohms and 10 amp 5 ohms is simply I have to add or subtract the value of currents depending upon the direction and take the effective value of resistances. That's it. Now what I get from this circuit is terminal A. This is terminal B. This is 24 volts and the resistance is 4 ohms. The source. Okay. Now, let me take this as R. Okay. And let me take this as I1, because I have considered here. Let me not take the same I nomenclature. Let this be I1. Now, what is I1?
Five ampere.
Okay, so I1 is no 5 amperes. How? I1 is the effective value of these two current sources. Now observe, the effective current source of 5 amps and 10 amps is either addition or subtraction of these two values. Now addition will be there when both the directions are in the same way or along the same direction, and subtraction if the currents are opposite. Now observe, 5 amperes is also flowing upward, 10 amperes is also flowing upward. So it means that at node A, current 5 amperes is meeting, current 10 amperes is also meeting. So what is the total current effective value of these two currents? It is 5 plus 10 amps. This is what we have seen when the current sources were in parallel. Okay, when the current sources were in parallel here, you observe this is I1, this is I2. When I1 and I2 were in same direction, the resultant current I was taken as I equal to I1 plus I2, and these two resistances with R1 and R2 are taken as effective value which are in parallel. So this is what we have done. Okay, theoretically we have seen. The same thing has to be applied here. So in this section, what we do is, I will observe what is the value of this current source, what is the value of this current source and the direction. And here we see both the current sources are in the same direction. I will take I1 is equals to 5 amps plus 10 amps is 15 amps. So I1 is 15 amps. And what is the direction of I1? Both the currents are upward. So the direction of I1 will also be upward. Now what is R? Now the resistance R is equals to the effective value of 2 ohm and 5 ohm connected in parallel. So it is 2 ohm in parallel with 5 ohm. So this is equals to 2 into 5 divided by 2 plus 5. So R is equals to what? It is 10 by 7. It will be 1 point some around 42 ohms or something like that of that value. Uh, 1.428. Okay, so it is 1.42 ohms. So R is 1.42 ohms. Now I want the effective voltage source between A and B. Sorry. Effective voltage source between A and B. I can convert this I1 and R, that is 15 amps and 1.42 ohms, into voltage source, and I can take them in series. Now if I convert 24 ohm volts and 4 ohms again into current source, I cannot have the series combination of current sources equivalents directly. But anyhow I want voltage source, effective voltage source. I have to convert this 15 amp 1.42 ohms into voltage source. Okay, so here I can take convert or transform. (15 amps 1.42 ohms source into a voltage source. Into a voltage source. Okay. So this I have as it is 4 ohms and 24 volts. Sorry. Now I will take this as this resistance 1.42 ohms will remain as it is. Now I have to take this voltage as let me take this as V1. Okay. So what is V1? Simply multiplication of this
21.
15 amps and this 1.42 ohms. So V1 is equals to 15 amps into 1.42 ohms. So this comes out to be, yeah, how much?
21.
21 volts. direction, observe here, the direction of arrow mark is upward for this current source. So the positive sign will come upward. So this is 21 volts. Okay. So now I have two voltage sources in series. I can very conveniently add these two voltage sources in series and get the equivalent voltage source between A and B, a single practical voltage source. Okay. So now adding these two will not be a simple, sorry, will not be a big issue. So what I get solution is, I will write this as equivalently. A voltage source and a resistance in series. Now this is B, this is A. Resistance 4 ohm and 6.42 ohms, sorry, 1.42 ohms are in series. So it will be 5.42 ohms, okay, which is equals to, if you want to write, 4 plus 1.42, and the voltage sources 21 volts and 24 volts. See, both are in the same direction. Is it? Both sources are having positive upward and negative downward. So therefore, both the voltage values will add up, and this will give us a total voltage of 45 volts. Okay. So this is the practical voltage source. This is a practical voltage source between terminals A and B. Okay. For the circuit shown in the diagram at the beginning. Okay. So this is how we have to solve an example of source transformation. So whenever we are going for any circuit reduction techniques, first we have to observe whether there are any redundant elements present in the circuit. Because my ultimate aim is not to find the current or voltage, is to find the equivalent circuit. So when I want to find equivalent circuit, then I should be using only those elements in the circuit which are making some effect, which the elements which are not making any effect in the circuit can be time being neglected for my simplification. Okay. So here we saw that 6 ohm in parallel with 10 volts is not making any effect. I took it out of the circuit. 10 ohm in series with 6 amperes is not making any change in the 6 branch current. So therefore I have taken 10 ohms out of the circuit. Then I simplified and I obtained this particular voltage source. Okay, a practical voltage source in between terminals A and B. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yes, Monica is there? Monica? Not there. Nishant?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, Nishant?
No, sir, not yet.
No, not yet means they are yet to come.
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Okay, then shall we move ahead with other example, or anybody needs any sort of clarification on this?
You can continue, sir.
Okay. Then we'll move to another example of the same sort. Okay. Today we will look into, in this session, we'll look into the source transformation examples. Source shifting, we will take it after this session. Okay, in the next class or maybe in forthcoming classes. I will take one more section of this. sorry. Example. Yeah, next to take. In the circuit shown, or for the circuit shown, we'll take for the circuit shown. This you can take example 2. For the circuit shown, obtain single equivalent current source. For the circuit shown, obtain single equivalent current source. Between A and B. Between A and B. So let this be 3 ohm, 9 volts. Six ohm, 12 volts. Four volts and 1 ohm. So this is the circuit given. Okay. A source of 9 volts and 3 ohm, 12 volts and 6 ohm, 4 volts and 1 ohm. I want an equivalent current source in between A and B. So because all the sources are practical, I will get obviously a practical current source. Okay. So you need not to mention exclusively. Now, do you find any redundant terms or elements in the circuit?
No, sir.
There are no redundant elements because it is valid that if there is any resistance in series with voltage sources. So there are 3 resistances, 3 voltage sources, respectively all those 3 resistors are in series with the voltage sources. So there are no redundant terms. So that part we need not to worry about. Now I have to directly jump into the circuit reduction technique only. Now again you observe. When I observe this combination, okay, this combination, I have 2 voltage sources in parallel. Now what should I do? Can I directly get to the equivalent value of these 2 sources? As per the rule, what should I do? Yes?
We need to convert into current source.
Yes. I have to convert 9 volt 3 ohm into current source, 12 volt 6 ohm into current source, take effective value of that. Okay. Then whatever the next step necessary, I have to do. Right. I cannot directly take the equivalent value of 9 volt and 12 volt, 6 ohm and 3 ohm and directly jump into the solution. Okay. So first step is to convert so first transform 9 volt 3 ohm and 12 volt 6 ohm into current sources. Into current sources. So I will be doing one below the other. It will be easy. I will keep this 4 volt 1 ohm as it is. Okay. Till end we will keep it as it is. We will see what can be done with that at the end. Okay. Yes, I will keep it as it is. So these two resistances will remain as it is, 3 ohm and 6 ohm. And in parallel to this, I will get two current sources. Let me take this as I1 and this as I2. Okay. Now, what is the value of I1? Source voltage divided by resistance. Okay. So, I1 is 9 volts by 3 ohms. It is 3 amps. Okay. And I2, it is 12 ohms. Sorry, it should be volts. Should be volts. Okay. So I2 is 12 volts by 6 ohms. It is 2 amps. Okay. So this is 3 amps and this is 2 amps. Now what should be the direction? Now to get the direction of I1, I should be observing the direction of potential of 9 volt source, which is upward. Therefore, direction of I1 is upward. The positive sign of the 9 volt source is upward. Therefore, current direction of I1 is upward. Now, for 12 volts, the positive sign is downward. Therefore, the direction of current I2 is downward. Okay. So, I1 is upward, I2 is downward. Now, I should be taking the effective value. Okay, here. Transform 9 volt 3 ohms and 12 volt 6 ohms into the current sources. This we did already. Now, here we have to take this is for first few examples. I will be writing these intermediate statements. For later examples, it is not necessary. We can directly solve. It is for your reference. Okay. Take effective value of three amps and 2 amps sources. 3 amps and 2 amp sources. Now effective value means I will get only one source. This is my 4 volts and 1 ohm source. Now let this be current I and let this be resistance R. Now what is I is equals to? Now in the previous case, when I took the effective value of two current sources, both the current sources were in the same direction. But now the current sources are not in the same direction. I1 is upward, I2 is downward. So the current value, effective value of current I is now Is it I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1?
I1 minus I2.
I1 minus I2, because I1 is larger in magnitude than I2. Therefore, it is I1 minus I2, which is 3 minus 2 as 1 amperes. Okay, this is 1 ampere. And the direction of this 1 ampere is upward, because the direction of resultant current is the direction of the larger valued current. Okay, that is upward. Now what is resistance R? R is equals to, it is in parallel combination of 3 ohm and 6 ohm. So 3 parallel 6, or 3 ohm parallel 6 ohm is equals to 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6, which comes out to be 2 ohms. 18 by 9, that is 2 ohms. So this is 2 ohms. But observe, between A and B, I want a practical current source. Now, if I convert 4 volts and 1 ohm into a current source, I will get two current sources in series, which I don't have, which I cannot directly resolve or directly simplify. Again, I have to convert them to voltage sources. So better doing that, what I will do, I will convert 1 amp 2 ohm current source into a voltage source. Then two voltage sources will be in series. Then these two voltage sources which are in series, I will take effective value, then convert that into current source. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Because if I now convert this into current source, I cannot take the effective value of two current sources coming in series. Okay, in the previous sections we have seen that two current sources in series, when there are two current sources in series, I cannot directly get the equivalent current source. Those have to be converted into voltage sources, take the effective value, then get the equivalent current source. So there are two current sources, there will be two current sources in series if I convert 4 volt and 1 ohm in current source. Therefore, what I will do now, I will convert 1 amps and 2 ohms into a voltage source. Okay. It's a transform transform 1 amps 2 ohms into voltage source. Into voltage source. This is 4 volt 1 amp 1 ohm as it is. Two ohm will remain as it is. Then let this be V dash. So V dash is equals to 1 amps into 2 ohms, which is equals to 2 volts. Now this is 2 volts. What is the direction of this voltage source? Current source is upward, so positive sign will come upward, negative sign will come downwards. Now I have two voltage sources in series. I can take conveniently the effective value. Okay. So what I can get from this is 2 ohm and 1 ohm are in series between A and B. And this series resistance can be drawn after the source or before the source. It doesn't matter, okay? A, B, This is 3 ohms. That is 1 ohm plus 2 ohm. Then the direction of V dash and 4 volts both are same. Both are upwards. This is in this direction. This is in this direction. Okay. So both are along the same direction. The arrow marks are directing in the same path in this circuit. So therefore, the voltages will add up. So which is 2 volts plus 4 volts, that is 6 volts, which is 2 volt plus 4 volt. Now convert this into current source. This can be given as between A and B. Resistance will remain same, 3 ohms. The direction of the 6 volt is upward. Therefore, the direction of current is upward. So the final current I is given by, or IT, I total, whatever you can call, is given by source voltage divided by series resistance. That is 6 volt by 3 ohm, which is 2 amperes. Okay. So this is the solution for the circuit shown. Okay, this is the solution for the circuit shown. Okay. Now we will see one more example on the source transformation, which is having one more special case into it. Using source transformation, reduce the circuit to a single voltage source. Okay. Using source transformation, example 3. Using source transformation, reduce the circuit to single voltage source. Single voltage source. Again between A and B only, okay? It is by default. This is the circuit shown, okay, or circuit given. Now, do you find any redundant term?
No, sir.
Yes?
No,
No.
sir.
Yeah. But when you keenly observe, okay, there is a redundant loop only here. There is a redundant loop. Can you find which is that?
Ten ohm resistor connected with
Huh.
ampere current.
Hey, how come, madam? Here there is a node. That will not come in series. Is it?
10 ohm resistor connected to 20 volt.
How come? Again there is a node. They are not in exactly parallel.
$20 connected to 10 ohm.
Where? Here. 20 volt to 10 ohm. 20 volt to 10 ohm or 20 volt to 2 ohm? See here, this loop of 20 volt and 2 ohm has no significance in the circuit. Yes? Because if you take, suppose this as node X, what is the potential difference or potential value of X? Vx is equals to minus 20 volts. Is it? Because X is connected to negative terminal of this battery, 20 volts. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this 2 ohm and this 20 volts are coming exactly in parallel with the 20 volt source. Just now what we have seen in the example 1. The things which are coming in parallel to a voltage source and has got no effect on the node voltage can be neglected. Do you think this 20 volt and this 2 ohm are having any effect on this node voltage? Whatever may be the current flowing in this loop in 20 volt and 2 ohm resistor, it has got nothing to do with the node voltage X. It is always minus 20 volts. Do you agree? Because this node X is directly connected to a voltage source. Between this node and the ground, if I take this as the ground connection or negative connection, the voltage between X and ground is always minus 20 volts, irrespective of what is happening in this branch. But thinking that you cannot neglect the right hand side, okay, don't do that. Because there is another node here. This node may be behaving differently. Suppose node Y, okay, that is a different issue. But here there is no another node connected to this branch, 20 volt and 2 ohms. Suppose if there would have been another branch here, then I would have not done this. Okay, are you getting my point? It is like this, guys, in the same section 1, what we have seen, the first numerical. See, here this is 10 volts, right? The node voltage here is always 10 volts, irrespective of this 6 ohm what it is doing here. Now in series with 6 ohms, whatever comes, it has got nothing to do with this node voltage. It will be always 10 volts. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am not threatening you. Please don't take my tone in that way. It is out
No.
of the flow. It will come. I am not threatening you to tell yes only. Yeah. Okay. So here, this node is directly connected. Is connected to this common node through this 10 volts. So whatever happens in this 6 ohm branch is nothing to do with this node voltage. It is same 10 volts only, because it is connected to an independent source. So therefore I have neglected the 6 ohm. Now coming to this example, this resistor is not there. Then this node X is again connected to this 20 volt source. Don't worry about the polarity, okay? It will be either plus 20 or minus 20. This node X is directly connected to an independent voltage source again. So whatever is happening in the other parallel branch connected to this node X has got nothing to do with the value of potential at node X. It will be always 20 volts. Magnitude will be 20 volts. Direction let it be. Do you agree? Are you getting the point? This is the same case what we have seen in the first example. There we had only one resistor across a independent source. Now we have another independent source across the independent source. Now whether this voltage is 10 volts or 5 volts, it doesn't matter. Yes, the source voltage here is always, sorry, the node voltage here is always equal to this source voltage connected to this node. Hence, this 2 ohm and 20 volts has got no effect on this node voltage. Do you agree with this?
Sir,
Yes.
small doubt I have, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, 20 volt and 2 ohm are in series.
Yes.
And 20 volt and 10 ohm are in series, no, sir?
No.
No.
There is a node here. How
Okay,
come
sir.
10 ohm and 20 volts come in series? There is a node X. When there is a node, these two things will not come in series. Directly I cannot take them in series. Now if I take this 20 volt 2 ohm as redundant branch and take it out of the circuit, after doing that, when 20 volts and 10 ohms will come in series. If I neglect 2 ohm and 20 volts, then only 20 volt, 10 ohm, 10 amps, 10 ohms will come into circuit, and then 20 volts and 10 ohms will come in series. But not now, because I haven't neglected 20 volt and 2 ohm yet. But is the concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Why this 20 volt and 2 ohm has no effect on this X? And even if you apply the KVL here, if you apply KVL, what will happen? This is, if I apply like this, 20 minus 2i plus 20 is equals to 0. Okay. So 2i is equals to 40. Okay. Or I is equals to 20 amps. Okay. I is equals to 20 amps. Now what is the voltage value X? Vx. Now if I want Vx, I have to apply KVL from X to node. Actually this will come, and the later part of loop analysis we'll see. Now what is Vx? Vx is equal to minus 20 volts. Okay. Vx is equals to minus 20 volts. Now the direction of current is clockwise. I will take like this. Okay. Now if I take Vx, okay, and apply, trace the circuit from X to this ground, from X to ground, okay, then it will be 2 into I minus 20 is equals to what I get? 2 into 20 minus 20 is equals to 20 volts. Is it? Vx is equal to 20 volts. Magnitude of Vx is equal to 20 volts. And if I apply KVL through this branch, then also I will get Vx equal to 20 volts. Then what does it mean? This branch of 20 volts and 2 ohms has got no effect on this node voltage Vx. Hence, in a circuit reduction, I can neglect that. Okay? Now, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Maybe a little bit confusing of this analysis. But now is it clear that even though current flows in this loop, it has got no effect on this node voltage. Hence, the parallel things which are connected to that node can be neglected. This already we have done in first example, and there we had only 6 ohms. Here we have some voltage source also here. Okay. So here we will write a comment, and is it clear with others? Is it okay? Any other can respond. I hear only 2 voices all the time. I don't know their names, but I hear only 2 voices. Others?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we can write. I will mark as X and Y. Let the nodes be X and Y only. Okay. How I can put it in the statement is, yeah. The branch with 20 volt to ohm has no effect, or has no significance in the circuit as Vx. I will take this as Vx, as Vx is constant. Okay. Vx is equal to minus 20 volts. Therefore, 20 volt 2 ohm can be neglected. 20 volts 2 ohm can be neglected. Okay. Now, redrawing the circuit. Neglecting 20 volt and 2 ohms. Now, this 20 volt and this 10 ohm are in series. Now they are in series, not with this connection. Okay. Yeah. What I want is, I want the practical voltage source. I want a practical voltage source in between A and B. R and V. Okay. Now it is your duty to solve. Okay. I will give you 10 minutes. I will be online. You should be online. Solve it and tell me the answer. I can pick anyone to get the answer from the entire list. Okay. Please start solving. Now it is 20 volt in series with 10 ohm, 10 amps in parallel with 10 ohms. It is very simple. Okay. You solve and tell me the answer. Okay. I can ask anybody. If anybody will not respond, then he will lose attendance for today's both the classes. Third hour and fourth hour. Do it fast. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Divakar, what is the answer? Is Divakar in the class? And anybody who will leave the class now will lose attendance of all the classes. Danish Makbul.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are there.
Yes, yes, I am here.
Yeah. Divakar is not there. Divakar L. Your presence it is shown here. Are you here or left? And one more thing, guys. Don't think that if you just log in and leave, you will get attendance. I told that I have this time stamping of yours at what time you log in and at what time you log out. Okay. If it is less than 40 minutes of the class hour, you won't get attendance for that. Even if it is 39.59, you won't get attendance for that complete hour. Okay, please be careful about these things. And whether you put your USN and name in the chat box or you don't put, you don't worry, I will get attendance. I have made that arrangement at my side that whoever will join, that name will be displayed with a time stamping of your joining and leaving. Whether you listen in between or don't listen, it is up to you. I can't go to that extent and put my finger in your brain and check. But at least your login, logout time stamping, I will monitor. Yeah, Spurti, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me the answer. What is the value of R?
Sir, 20 ohm.
R is
20 ohm.
20 ohms.
Yes,
And what is the voltage value?
19 volt.
Direction?
Sir,
Positive
towards
sign up or down?
upwards. Plus, downwards, sir.
Positive sign downwards.
What?
Okay. So Nirmal Kumar is there?
Yes, sir.
Are the values correct, man?
Yes, sir.
All are getting the same values?
Sir. Sir, R is getting 5.
These answers are wrong.
So answer we got as
Purti.
60 volt and 5 ohm.
Yes?
We
Sir,
got as
R is
R equals
60
to
volt
5
5.
ohms
5 ohm and 60 volts.
and voltage is 60 volts.
60 volts. Okay, these are the correct answers. 5 ohm and 60 volts. Okay. Spurti, please check your calculations. Okay. So these are very simple examples in source transformation. We haven't entered into source shifting. The complexity rises there when we go for source shifting. Little bit more than this. Okay. So general things what students make mistakes are, you people think that you know how to solve, and there is no doubt that you know how to solve. Okay, but knowing how to solve and actually solving has got a lot of difference. Okay, you know how to drive a car. When you travel by bus, you will be knowing how to drive a bus. Okay, you have to sit in the driver's seat. You have to just tilt the steering wheel as per the direction, apply acceleration or brake or clutch. You know, but can we really go and drive when we sit on the driver's seat? For that, we need practice. So only knowing doesn't help you in this subject. Doing by yourself will help you in this subject. Okay, these are very first few examples, 2-3 examples we solved in this. And hereafter there will be only examples, examples and examples. You will be full of only examples in this subject. There is nothing other than solving examples. The more you practice, the more you are safer side of passing or scoring. Only knowing, no, it won't help. Even the simplest circuit you cannot solve if you don't have the practice of solving. Okay, yeah. We know how to write, we know how to draw, and we do that using, most of us we do that using right hand. Though I know how to write, if I start writing with the left hand, you know what is the difference in your handwriting. Okay, one is your own handwriting, one is how you will get to know what is the way how you write. Because my left hand don't have practice of writing. So until you train your intellect and make your intellect practice of solving the examples, you can't solve examples all of a sudden. You can't read examples. Please remember, you can't read examples. You have to solve it on your own. You have to take pen and paper and calculator, sit and solve. There is no other way other than this learning electrical subjects. Not only this one, there are many subjects like this. So what I expect is that you should practice. Okay, even whether I expect it or I don't expect, it is your duty and responsibility to do that. Okay, so we'll end now. We'll end the session. In the afternoon, you have to again join for the lab. Okay, at 1:45 you have to join the lab. I will be taking lab today because for both the batches, myself and Manjula ma'am, we both are the lab handling faculty for this electrical machines 1 lab, that is transformers and generators. Last week she took, this week I will be taking. Don't know, next week maybe she or I will be taking. Online taking both at once becomes difficult. Okay, so we are 1 week alternatively we will be handling the lab. Okay, so can I know what is the last topic that was covered in the TNG class? Because conduction is, I don't think it is possible this way, this week. you have to, some topics have to be covered in the class. What was the last thing covered in the class?
Efficiency of transformer.
Efficiency of transformer. With equation or all day efficiency? All day efficiency, have you heard about? No.
No, sir.
Okay, then. That is the efficiency of transformer using the equation. Okay. The derivation is over. Examples have been solved.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Losses have been covered.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I will give more things on this losses and efficiency only today. How those are helpful for us in performance and what we are doing with these things in our regular lab. And we'll see what possible can be done in the lab. Okay. So at 1:45 we'll join for the lab session. Okay. So we'll end this. And those who have not responded, they don't get attendance. This Monica and Divakar, because his name is there in the login list, but he was not there when I called the name. Okay. So please be careful about this. Login, logout timings are extremely important. Any duration less than 40 minutes for 60 minutes class is absent. I am helpless because we have such instructions. Okay, it is your responsibility to be in the class. What you do in the class, it is up to you because I cannot check it. Okay. Even I have so many other ways to test your presence, your mental presence and physical presence, but I don't want to go in that deep. I believe you people at first that you listen to my class. Okay, when I get confirmed that you don't listen, then I have many other tools to use. But at first, I believe my students in the first step that my students are positive towards the class attendance and learning. If I get some doubt about negativeness, then we'll look into that at a later stage. Okay, so we'll join the lab at 1:45. I will send you the link. Don't join with the same link because I get the same things in my folder. I don't want that. I will forward you the link for this lab session. Okay. We'll end now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine.
Ravana?